Rahul Baptist is in Lucas. Is anyone there?
Rahul Baptist, Lucas. Rahul Baptist.
How you doing? Rahul Baptist. How y'all doing, family? Hang on.
On my best.
Is here. He's coming in right now.
Well.
Yep, I appreciate your patience.
How are you?
So, while we're waiting,
this call will be recorded.
does anyone have or has a spiritual experience?
Yes, I have one.
Okay, go ahead, sis.
Okay, you guys hear me well because I'm on speakerphone.
Can you, speak up louder? I can barely hear you.
Okay.
Lucas, you want me to do the prayer first or wait till Amun come?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were there. Yeah, do the prayer first, man. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. You said hold on?
No, I'm telling the sister to hold on, but you can go with the prayer. Thank you.
Okay, no, thank you. The prayer of Amun-Rayay, written by Passcode, Nun. The cooks with the Amun-Rayay. Unabad Momadu who Umadad who Umudel who Likanan Zaman who Wapat Panabab Nun. Kalal Hamadad Ater Le Amun-Rayay. The Tal Shale Par Wupataha. The Nuke and the Wapu. I trust by way of Amun-Rayay and his master teachers and his paparai and his warner for this day and time, Panabab Yanun. All praises are for Amun-Rayay, Nathar, overseer of the heavens and the earth. I am Nuwapi.
Nice.
I appreciate that.
Thank you. So what?
You're welcome. Okay, sis, go ahead with your experience, please.
Rahul Patel.
Yeah.
Can you speak? Thank you for taking this mission serious again. Thank you. Can everybody hear me?
Sure.
Can you all hear in 504? Please mute your phone.
Sure.
Thank you. Can you hear me at 774? 774. Somebody dial into 774, please. Can you hear me in 267?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, and 712.
Sure.
I love you. All right, now can everybody hear me in Zoom?
Yes.
Yes,
All
you
right.
can.
All right. I love you. Just open up 774 and let's get started. All right, did Hart, you got the prayer for us, or did you already? Okay, I love you, son. I'd like to hear more from you and Aaron, too, and people in Chicago as far as questions and contributions. What's on your mind in class? All right. That first spiritual experience that somebody would like to share with us? Zachary, are you here? Yes, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, sister. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, please. I'm good.
No, it's all good. I insist.
I insist this. Okay. All right. Thank you. A few days ago, I wanted to visit one of my uncles that had transitioned before I was born. And as I was closing my eyes, I kept changing my mind on what I want to see. Sham, the Bureau, Crystal City, things like that. Before I knew it, I found myself in multiple dimensions. I'm guessing like well over 15, and they were back to back. And I was trying to lock in on some of them, but I couldn't. And I would see faces, I would see symbols, letters, different places.
Does that resemble any language? Did it resemble any language we're familiar with?
Yeah, I know it was a book where he broke down how a circle, a square, how it turned into a. I forgot what that book was. It's like the circle and square, how it came into a square of something came into a circle.
That's the power, the science of creation. That was the science of creation. He was talking about how the Big Bang happened. You talking about Passcode?
Yeah, I did remember seeing that one, but a lot of other ones pop up, but I really couldn't,
Those are cosmic symbols that you saw. Anyway, go ahead.
Cosmic symbol.
Yes.
Okay. So then I found myself outside in the universe with the stars. So that was a very wild moment for me. So the question I have is like, when having an OBE, I cannot hear anything. I remember one day you were saying when I saw my aunt, when I went to her dimension, I should have said hi to her, but so they can hear us and we can't hear them?
Yeah, they can hear you too.
But I don't hear anything when I'm like, out there. It's that quiet.
Oh, okay. But is it because you're quiet? See, let me. I want to impress upon your mind the reality. You and I are talking right now, correct?
Yes.
What that is, the ultimate reality is that we are Pa'ut or Kalum talking to itself. Are you following me?
Okay. Yes.
We are talking to ourselves. Because in reality, you are me and I am you, don't you see?
Oh.
That would apply to you and your uncle, too.
Okay.
So you can't have a conversation if you don't speak.
That is true. Yeah.
That's right. And silence is our natural state anyway, because we communicate telepathically.
Oh.
Even though you have to understand that when you're in a dream state and you talk to somebody in a dream, or they talk to you, that's still telepathic, you understand? Because it's mind to mind. Even though a lot of times when we go to sleep, you wake up in the morning and your sister come in the room and she's in a drawer, in your drawer looking for something, and you're in between awake and sleep in that transition state. You get up for breakfast and you say, I had a dream that I saw you in my room doing something. Oh, shut up, girl. I was in your room in your drawer. That wasn't no dream. I was really in there. You understand what I mean?
I do.
And that twilight state. So what I mean is sometimes we'll wake up and you hear yourself talking. You understand? You've been talking with... You understand? In other words, you're talking telepathically to somebody in the spirit realm, but you'll wake up and hear yourself audibly speaking too. Not to confuse you, because it's no different than when you stand in the kitchen trying to decide what you want for lunch, right? And you go back and forward, and you go back and forward until you get so frustrated that you start speaking. It's in your mind telepathically that you're arguing with God or your higher self, but the conversation sometimes spills out. And your child and your daughter might say, Mama, who you talking to in there? You remember that. And you say, child, I'm in here talking to myself, okay?
That is so bizarre because I have woken up, several times just talking, like,
That's right, but it was mind to mind. It was mind to mind, and it spilled out. You follow what I mean? It's just like, you might be old enough to remember when you could look at TV with the rabbit ears, and sometimes you hear the taxi cabs or the police come over the TV.
Yeah, I think.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And some of you all may remember landlines when you're talking on the phone, and then somebody in Canada gets on the line. You saw the party line, then you say, now, who is this? How did you get here? They say, and you don't even know him?
Yeah.
Right. Sometimes the frequencies cross like that. You understand?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right?
Wow. Hamduk, thank you.
I love you.
Yeah. Yeah, Moon.
Good.
I remember when we used to go to the land and Malachi
Had that set up
have
with
a radio station on your radio.
That's right. And he
could
everybody, the way he did it is he adjusted the radio station to his frequency. So he can speak to everybody through the radio all over Tamaray, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. But you know what that tells you? That he's a master of frequencies. Because if he can communicate with you mentally like that through the radio station, then he can travel from one dimension to another. You follow me? Or he could connect with your mind and move stars with you even if you lived in Saipan. You understand?
Sure.
Through your eyes. You understand?
Sure.
Means he's a spiritual master. When people are angelic beings and they transform or spiral down into a physically human state, it's not miraculous to them. It's just a shift in frequency. And it's something that they've learned. You follow me? It's just like, if you're an adult, you can pretend to be a baby. You understand? But if you're a baby, you can't pretend to be an adult. It's hard for people with a immature, spiritually immature mind to spiral up and do complex things, like perform miracles, walk on water. You follow what I mean? I communicate with people telepathically, have random access to their four higher senses. But to them, it's a regular, it's a normal thing. You follow me?
Sure.
Yeah.
So what I'm here to do is to accelerate your evolution, your spiritual evolution, and raise you all up to reconnect with that ability or that aspect of you that gives you the ability to perform what you call miraculous things, you know, from this lower vibratory state. You follow?
Sure.
Yeah. In other words, transform you all into gods. Like Malachi told Batin to say, O.J. Wagner. They were all walking with Malachi on Tamaray, and Batin got so excited, means the hidden when he got so excited, he jumped in his car and ran out here so fast. I was working on my saw bench, making a sign for All Eyes on Egypt, my 5th bookstore. And he jumped out of his car, that little car, and he left the door open wide and the engine running. He said, Ahmed, we was out there walking with the old man. He just said, Millersville is the seat of a modern-day pharaoh. And then he came back another time with the same way, excited eyes bucking, said, the master just said that that Ahmed is going to bring Millersville and the world up into the 21st century. You hear me? But I do want you all to know that he and I are one. Go ahead. Well, we share the same oversoul. You hear me? That's why when I had the experience and I saw can you all hear me? I saw that ball of light come. I saw that ball of light coming through the bedroom door. Please, let's not talk at the same time. When I saw that ball of light coming through the bedroom door and the dark suspended in the air, it was life itself. It was so vividly animated and bright that it was realer than anything that I experienced in the physical. But I was confused as to whether that was me or whether it was Malachi, right? But there's no more confusion, because now I know I was right both times, because I'm him and he's me. You follow me?
Sure.
And then you all, okay, I had a Nawapian friend, Reverend Alexander Smith, out of Augusta, Georgia. He used to drive trucks all over the country. And he said one time he was driving and he saw a big effigy or spirit being in the sky behind his truck. And so he stopped and got out and stood on the back of the flatbed, and the thing got bigger and bigger. But he said he went to park his truck. When he got through with dropping his load off, he was in the yard with the truck. And when he got out of the vehicle, he started to stretch. He started stretching, getting taller and taller, and he couldn't understand it. And neither could I when he was telling me. But I remember Malachi used to talk about he was stretching. People that were with him talked about him stretching. For example, he would walk with Ansars in Brooklyn, and they would tabligh. In Arabic means to go around and teach people. And he used to frequent university campuses. And there was a tall brother came out about 6'5", thought he was educated when he was really programmed by the white man. Started talking all that college, kindergarten stuff, and got into a heavy debate with Malachi, Imam Issa, as he was called. And Imam Issa got so excited, he was arguing back, trying to make this young fella that was real smart but didn't have no sense realize the reality. And he was pointing his finger at this guy and arguing. And Malachi is not a tall man, probably 5'7". And this guy was like 6'5", as I said. And then the people around him, the Ansars women, witnessed that before you knew it, Malachi was pointing down at him, looking at him, pointing over his head, pointing down on him with that argument. You understand? And they had to let him know, Imam, you know. And then he came on back to his way. So another thing about him was this. The white jalabiyas that we used to wear, that when he got through with a jalabiyah, a lot of brothers wanted his jalabiyah. And regardless of what their size was, all of them could fit it. And you all may not know that now, but it's true for us. For example, Anuka's made a jalabiyah, a set all in white for Hotep, for Brother Harry here. And he's a little man, smaller than Malachi in height. And Khufu came here, and he's almost tall as I am. And Hotep gave him his outfit, and it fits him perfectly. You understand? People don't think about those things. People don't think about it. And Andrew, too. Yeah. But Andrew had on one of mine, though, didn't he? Or second one for... Yeah, Andrew had on... And Andrew's almost as tall as Khufu, almost tall as me as well, yeah. And it fit both of them. Y'all saw the pictures. All right. Thank you, sister. Thank you. And the brother, Har, I think you had an experience you wanted to share?
Yes, I did.
Thank you.
Thank you. One early morning, about 4 or 5 in the morning, I was leaving, getting ready to go to work. Oh, man, no, matter of fact, this was more about 8 o'clock in the morning.
What time did you say
birds
first?
were at my gate. About 4 or 5, and then I got
damn, man, really good, gracious.
Yeah, some nights, some days I'm out there earlier that time. But at my gate, by my driveway, these white doves, it's like 3 of them, were just sitting in front of my gate. Mind you, I've never seen doves in this neighborhood.
They got what in the neighborhood?
There's never doves in my neighborhood. Never. Like, I've never seen them.
Did you all know that what are pigeons? Anybody know?
It's a dove, right?
That's right. Pigeons are doves. White pigeons are doves.
Yeah.
And it's a strange thing about them. with necromancy, if a magician anytime you put them in dark, they instantly fall asleep right away. They go into a dead sleep. Yeah, they once you put them in dark, their head just drop, they sleep. And as soon as they see the light, they're 100% awake. Go ahead, son. I'm sorry.
No,
there were 3 doves on your gate when you got up. Yeah.
Yeah, they were there, and I just
said that because you're in Chicago with a lot of tall buildings, and there'll be a lot of pigeons there. That's all. Go ahead.
No, not where I am. That's downtown Chicago where all the pigeons be. Yeah, I'm on the outskirts in Joliet.
Okay.
So there's never really pigeons out here. Like, never really see them. I don't know what that was about. I just know that they were there. I've never seen them before. Another experience I have is my telepathy is happening more often. And I don't know what to call it. Telekinesis happens not as often, but I think this may be clairvoyance. I don't know. Like I can predict things like easily sometimes now. It just comes, and it's getting heightened.
Right. Well, you know, in the scripture, the Most High said in the last days that your old men would dream dreams, your young men would see visions, and your children would prophesy. You remember that? That's a part of scripture.
Cool.
It's being revealed.
Wow.
Say it again.
What do you mean when you say the children will prophesy?
Mean that these children are not like when you all were born or before. They're much more advanced, smarter. Because what's happening is they have genetics inside of them where they have genes that are exploding at a much younger age, and they're coming out like, what do you call it? Violet children and what is that other group of children?
Indigo.
Golden children. Yeah, they're coming out with the indigo. Yeah, indigo children.
Indigo children.
Yeah, and they're coming out with those abilities because they were sent here, like myself, for the specific purpose. They're light workers that are coming to the system, and they're waking up more in tune with the fact that they're here for that purpose, to raise the vibrations of the planet, expand consciousness, etc., right? And they're here with a lot of special abilities. Yeah. With your daughter, right?
No, with me and Aaron was talking about the golden children Pop the Rock earlier. And I was explaining to him my experience I just explained. And I was like, man, like all this stuff is in here. And it was talking about the genes that you were just talking about. It was talking about the 223 genes that doesn't have any predecessors on the evolutionary chain. And scientists don't know where they come from.
They came from us.
Yeah, that's in the golden children.
Right, exactly.
That's what the golden children Pop the Rock says.
That's right. Because you see, you're one of those children to us. You follow me? To me. I have grandchildren. I'm saying, you know what I mean. So what it is, you see, so that you all it's not that rare for you all to have those abilities. You follow me? Because, like I said, your old men would dream dreams, your young men will see visions, and your children will prophesy. So, Keatifit Amun. What I mean by that is that your children will prophesy. They'll be like prophets telling you the future and things like that. And everybody here that's having children, especially if you have children that have children, and you observe them in their daily activities, you would be remiss not to admit that they seem to be a lot more evolved or conscious than the children used to be. Right?
That is so true.
Whereas that Imam Issa, when he was born, and when I was born, I was in the crib in New Orleans, Louisiana, and my great-grandfather, Reverend James Boatner, that had his own church in New Orleans, he walked in to visit and stand in the living room with me while my mother was in the back of the house, and he got all excited. Maxine, this boy is coming up out this crib. And, see, that's right, as an infant, I would be getting up, and I got a big giant head. It would be wobbling, my eyes real big eyes. And I was just moving, trying to get up out of there. But I remember seeing him at that young age. And some of you have had visions that you remember before you were born. But you just think it's a dream. But you've had past regressive memories. Go ahead.
Wow,
I can see that.
That happened to me.
Friday. On Friday, it was my birthday, and I had a surprise phone call from Unc's 4-year-old granddaughter, who called me and sang the happy birthday song without missing or skipping any words or any notes to that song. I thought that was so phenomenal.
And in Texas, she has a granddaughter that's obviously evolved too. Yeah.
Happy belated birthday, sister.
You are.
Okay. Did you understand what I'm saying clearly about these children of change, right?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Absolutely. So in our conversations throughout the day, she will talk to me and say certain things, and I'll have to give her a double take and look back at her because I would think I was talking to a grown-up or something.
An adult, right.
Things that she says.
Right.
And I'll just sometimes out of the blue, I'll ask her, I'll say, who are you? Just like that, and she'll just look at me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I was a child, they considered me a being way ahead of my years, so they used to call me little president, the scientist, things like that, right? Because I would pay all the bills for my mother, and my parents, they'd come to me when they had problems, and I would give them solutions until they get frustrated and say, boy, I'm your mama, I'm your daddy. You understand? And I never had any doubt about that's right. And I never had any doubt about that as far as chronology. I knew that they were older than me. But as far as them being my parents in that way, I never thought that. Right?
That's cute.
Because I was answering their questions just like I do to everybody right now to this day. Like when I was standing at the kitchen sink with my mother when she was washing the eyes off the stove, when I saw that big blue aura around her, and now I know she's also an extraterrestrial. I'm positive about that. But I told her, I said, Mama, this was a thought world. When I was 7 years old, I said, this was a thought world, and one day everybody going to have real big heads. Because I had interactions with the Greys, with the extraterrestrials, when the craft came up over my grandmother's house. You follow me? And before, but I was sitting here. And Malachi told you all years ago that as Melchizedek or Michael, he came to visit many of you all in your childhood. So did I. Well, when I saw that being, when I saw that light being at Mother Henderson's house, under the stairway in her basement, while I was down there playing in the semi-dark, this light being was standing up, and he was talking to me, but I couldn't hear the words, and I kept telling him, I can't hear you, but I kept seeing him talking. I know now that was Malachi. That was Imam Issa. That was Michael. I thought it was Jesus, right? And when he asked me to move here from New Orleans, the reason he said is because these people are illiterate, and he's going to write a new holy tablet. Well, the Patarak Natural Facts actually surahs or chapters in the new holy tablet. But anyway, When I got up that morning, the trucks were still out there, but they called me up and asked me, said he wanted me to come to Amun-Rayay. When I got up to use the bathroom, I saw Malachi standing in my kitchen, dressed in black like an Indian. Like y'all remember him as Chief, Black Eagle? He was dressed like that, I never saw him like that. And he was arguing and talking, and I looked at him and he was talking and pointing at somebody talking and fussing. Well, I tried to tell him, I said, I can't hear you. And I used the bathroom. I said, look, I got to go to the bathroom. I'll be back. I went to the bathroom. I came back. He was gone. But when I got out to Amun-Rayay, I was sitting on the back of swinging on the back of the gate of the truck with some of the Wappies. There were 26 people moved here from New Orleans with me. And I saw him come out with this little being by his side. And I know now that's little Abigail. But anyway, he was dressed like that in black and like an Indian, just like I saw him in my kitchen for the first time. Right? And I asked him, I said, can I shake your hand? He said, do you have to ask me that? I said, well, I'm approaching God. And as I was walking toward him, he said, I'm approaching God as well, but I didn't understand that at first, right? So things are going to reveal itself to you, and the more you all walk with me, as time passes, you're going to look back over some of our interactions, and you're going to say to yourself, wow, like you're saying right now, it really was him.
Yeah.
And that means it's really me. That's right.
Amun.
Yes.
I like to share an experience that I've been noticed, and it's still been happening in my life. My son is named after me, and the amazing thing, I watched a lot of things that I've done. So I've been very observant ever since I've been a little child. I'm very observant.
I can tell by your testimonies.
It's amazing that my son the same way. And the amazing thing about it, a lot of the habits that was told to me that I was coming up in, through my teenage years, a little boy, teenage years, he liked the same thing that I'd done. And it'd be amazing to me even more now. I'm observing a lot of things that he's doing that I did. And it's just surreal. It's amazing to me, even some of the pictures that things that I looked like when I was young, and he never seen, but when I see him taking the pictures, he looking like me and doing the same thing that I done when I was younger, even through my teens.
I have children like that.
So
yeah.
Wow.
I have children look like twins, like doppelgangers, and grandchildren that look like me exactly.
Yes. Wow.
And I'm a different kind of being. When I make children that look like sometimes they be made by me without a mother. My first daughter by Khadijah, to have white one, Lethea, which is Larry and Althea together, Lethea, she's so much like me that when she used to go to Althea's mother's house, to her grandmother's house, and bump on the couch and talk, her grandmother would always say, look at that child. She just like that nigga, just like that nigga. Not only did she look just like me, but her temperament and all that. And she had the spiritual ability too. She always interact with graves and have out of body experiences. But her mother taught her to be afraid of those things.
Wow.
She told me that she was taken up. One time she met this female grave and invited her on the craft with two of her children. With one of her children. And she went on board, and they were black men that she met there. And while she was looking at them, they started vibrating and shaking real fast. Like real fast. And she said they turned into reptiles in front of her face. One time she went there and they asked her for some blood samples from her children, right? The twins. And she refused to do that, to give it to them. I know one time when we were in New Orleans, they came to get me, and they had a UFO parked out in the backyard. And I woke Lethea up in the spirit and took her with me out there, and they let me not only get on board with her, but let me pilot the ship. Because I know that when I was handling the controls, it was telephone wires over our head, and I learned how to make it move to the right and go around the wires and shoot straight up. I didn't want to start traveling left and right in different directions because I didn't want to get lost because I was getting so high. I was going up so fast and straight that the planet looked like a dot of light, just like a little ball of light. And then she was getting scared saying, Daddy, Daddy, like a little child on the Ferris wheel with her daddy. And then when I saw the planet was a little dot of light, I got scared. And so I thought, all I'm going to do is reverse this thing, start going straight back down. I'm not going to try to, do nothing like maneuver. And I just kept going straight back down the exact same way I came till we got back to that telephone wire. Then I shifted up under it and then parked that thing and got out of it. Yeah. Well, I had experiences like that. I know one time I was laying in my bed, and me and Khadijah had gotten into it again, so I sent her upstairs to sleep with the children. I'm downstairs by myself. All the bars locked, and I was in the master bedroom, so both the doors to the master bedroom were locked. So I'm turning around on my bed with my head at the foot of the bed looking at TV, and something kept saying, turn around. So I finally turned around, and I had a nightstand right by my weight bench, and as usual, and there was a gray standing there. But he wasn't gray, he was reddish brown. It was a colored gray. And he was just standing there looking at me. And he didn't have no expression like hostile or agreeable. He was just staring at me. And that scared the shit. I went to hollering for them and all that, and by the time they got down there and I opened the door and he was gone. But I knew prior to that I was on the computer, because that was in the early 90s. I had a computer and they wasn't that popular back then. But something happened on the computer when I was on it, and they kept saying, I am Adama. Don't be afraid. I am Adama, Ahmed. I am Adama. And I was thinking to myself, who is Adama? And it kept on saying that till I just said, I'm going to turn the computer off. I turned it off and it came back on. It had a whole lot of writing. I am Adama. I unplugged the computer and it wouldn't go off. I am Adama. Not too long after that, I had that being visit me. And I was like, what? But I experienced a lot of things. Like the Men in Black, I had 2 bookstores in New Orleans, in Jefferson Parish, and in Greater New Orleans on Claiborne and Elysian Fields. 2 Holy Tabernacle bookstores and furniture and clothing stores. But anyway, I was at my father's house because I had been up all night because he had a triple bypass heart surgery, and I was taking care of things. And anyway, I woke up late, the phone rung, and Leo Moore, which is a school teacher that I had that was retired, helping my children, my son Sulaim and Abdullah Muhammad, opened up the bookstore in Jefferson Parish. And my son got on the phone all excited, talking about, it was a big, tall white man, over 6'5", come out there, real pale, with a black suit and a black hat on and all that. And he came in the store, and they parked a black Cadillac outside, just like Will Smith, Men in Black, and walked in and said, where's Ahmed? And he said, my daddy's not here right now. And so the way the store was arranged, I had put a door in between the bookstore and the clothing store in the same building. I'm a carpenter. Not the carpenter of Nazareth, but yeah, I'm back. Anyway, he opened up the door and went into the bookstore side and was looking at all the books. My son followed him over, then he came back and said, when he was getting ready to leave, he told my son, he said, look, tell your daddy that I was here and I'm looking for him. And then he walked to the door to leave, and then he turned around and came back in, reached in his pocket, and gave my son a card. He said, give your father this card. and the car said MIB, Men in Black. You understand? And then he got in a black Cadillac and disappeared. Well, that same morning when I got up and was ready to go to the bookstore, I went out, opened the front door of my daddy's house to go to my Cadillac, and I looked at, because we live between two cemeteries, I looked to the right, and there was a black Cadillac, like he said, parked in the gate of the cemetery, facing the house. And so I said, I'm not going that way. So I looked to the left, there was another cemetery, and there was another black Cadillac, and that one facing the house. So I went back inside and picked up a 25 automatic Beretta and put it on me. And by the time I got ready to go back to the car, my son and the school teacher was back there telling me what happened, how they went out there, Cadillac, and disappeared like that, and they couldn't find them nowhere. Anyway, the next day they went to open up the store, and everything was taped off in yellow, and they couldn't get in the door. I said, why? Because there was a pizza delivery man that was dead in front of the door. I said, what?
Oh, man.
Yeah. So they left me a message. They ain't not planned, right? So we used to have to drive from New Orleans to Georgia twice a month to go to class with Malachi. So I drove all the way to Georgia, and I got to the gate, and the colonel was on the gate, and I was telling him what happened, and I wanted to talk to Malachi about that, and I gave the colonel the card. Malachi got the card and came back over the intercom and told me, he said, yeah, that's the Men in Black, but, stay away from them and don't bring them here. The same way I went to a lecture in Atlanta, and the one that was teaching was Al Bielek, that you see on the videos and on YouTube. Al Bielek, that was in the Philadelphia Experiment, the Invisibility Project, right? He was teaching, and then everybody was asking questions, and I was asking questions and talking to him. He was so interested, after he got through the lecture, he came down and sat at my table. And he asked me, where was I getting this information from? And I told him, from Malachi, right? Amun-Rayay. And he said he'd like to meet him. So I drove up to Tamaray with him at the gate, and then the guards at the gate got in touch with Malachi and told him I was there with this Al Bielek guy. And Malachi said, no, you can't bring him here. He can't come in. And I asked him, I said, why? And he said, because they know who he is too, and we can't have two of us in the same spot right there to create too much excitement. The government will start coming here, you know what I mean? With me and him in the same place. So I had to tell Mr. Bielek that I'm sorry, but he can't come in the gates. I know I was on a plane one Savior's Day when I had finished getting the Sphinx together in New Orleans, getting it built, and I had it on a flatbed and a regular 18-wheeler truck in two pieces. I had it delivered to Tamaray to be there for his birthday, and I flew in on a jet, and I had a rental car waiting for me at the park at the airport. So I drove out to Tamaray because I was late getting there. I was driving so fast, and I called up and let them know I'm going to be a little late. And the sisters told me in the office, said, don't worry. Ahmed, he told everybody that not a foot will move or a hand will raise until Ahmed come through the gate. He said, because you are now acting my crew. And I said, what does that mean? They said, that means if you ask these brothers to come and pick that Sphinx up from New Orleans, they'll walk here with it by hand. I said, well. But before that, when I was on the jet, I was riding, and it was a white man sitting next to me, right, on the jet. And one thing led to another. He started probing me about who I was and where I was going. And he asked me, before we landed, he said, will you take me to this Tamaray with you? And I said, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. But that was the time I got back on the jet to go back home, and everybody was staring at me, and I was all lit up like Malachi was lit up like the sun. Right. So many of you all have read some letters that he sent to me where he said he and I are one, or he would say things like, let us shine, let us shine, let us shine, right? Because if you look on the internet right now, another name for the Anunnaki are the shining ones. He and I are the shining ones. You hear me? That's why you see me lit up on photographs and things like him from Imam Issa Visits Egypt. This is real. Okay, I'm sorry. Now, who else has a spiritual experience? So what is that first question, family?
Rahubat.
Rahubat.
Yeah, I've got a question. You know, you said that there are a lot of hybrids incarnated at present. Hybrids.
Yeah, hybrids
are being born.
I'm one of them, yes, right.
You're one of them.
That's definitely, yes.
Okay, are they, will that be greys or reptilian hybrids, or both?
You have both. You see,
both of them. Yes.
With every agreeable child, you have a fire child born too, right? You have fire children born, those that have tattoos and their hair all different colors and rings in their nose and piercings in their navel and all kind of crazy mess, right? The bad kids in school, the ones that try to encourage you to use drugs and do all that, you know what I mean? You know the fire children. You met fire children, all of you have. Some of you may be fire children and don't even know it.
Can you turn around?
Yeah.
Okay.
Say it again.
If you are,
they're the ones.
If you are found.
If you are a fire child, what?
Can you change it around, or what happens with that?
You have free will, but you're born with the nature of being an obstinate, rebellious antagonist, with a negative disposition. You always seem to be like the asshole of the group that kick against the pricks. The devil, you know what I mean? You have reptilian tendencies. That's the fire children, the ones who used to always break the windows and be the first ones to smoke and always getting in trouble and playing hooky and all that. The fire children, you know them.
All right.
The nigga used to call snake in school and all that, yeah. The ones that steal and all it. Or the ones that will antagonize me, always kind of contradict me or say something over or challenge me like they want to be me and act like that, Those are fire children. Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Because you have different natures. Let me explain. In the physical and the spiritual, you have different natures. You have some with agreeable natures, some with disagreeable natures, but you have some with clashing energy. And they don't really know who and what they are. You follow me? Because they one thing one way time and then they another thing another time. You follow me? They have clashing energies. They're mixed up. Like a homosexual that's confused about whether he's a man or a woman or a lesbian that don't know whether she's male or female. You understand? Some don't know whether they're agreeable or disagreeable. They have clashing energies. They fluctuate. They have flickering genes. Flickering genes. You understand? They pop back and forward between good and evil. They're good one time, then they bust out with some lit-filled evil bullshit from hell from nowhere. You understand? Piercing on the gate, try to challenge you and all that. You know what I mean? The next thing you know, they're an agreeable, they're a seraphim again. You understand? A god again. You got it? You've had family members like that. You have family members like that. You standing up, a sister cutting chicken with a sister at the sink, and you having a pleasant conversation. Then all of a sudden things change around, and she's like, "Bitch, this was," and you're like, "What the hell did you do with my sister?" Right? My sister, it's the same body, but damn, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bitch, you the shapeshifter. All of a sudden, you the werewolf?
Maybe
Go
that's one of the that's one of the other ancestors coming out.
Yeah, it's a lot of ways to put it, but it's just flickering genes. Flickering genes.
Yeah.
There are people that try to have an agreeable nature, but they know that they're disagreeable. But when they be disagreeable, a lot of times they want to be agreeable. In other words, their genes are flickering all the time.
Amun, can I ask another question? Who has the strongest genetics? Who has the strongest genes, Greys or reptilians?
Well, it's got to be reptilians. It's got to be reptilians because they're a species, and Greys are hybrids. In other words, it's just like you got black people and white people, right? But you also have mulattoes. And the more people are mixed, let me explain, the more they are mixed, the weaker they become intellectually and all that. You know what I'm trying to say? And I'm saying that from a point that you're talking to a person that's black, Indian, and white. That's my heritage, right? So my brother Red, like I said, was born with blue eyes and blonde hair. We got the same mother and father, but I'm saying now, we totally different, like Cain and Abel or whatever, you know what I mean? Now, he was definitely a fire child. Now, that's no question about that. 100%, you understand? A fire child. And I'm 100% the other. You follow?
Yeah.
Malachi is left-handed so bad that every one of his children, his sons and daughters, he got hundreds of them, they all left-handed. Do you understand that? I'm quite sure this boy they talking about Ivory, he was left-handed. If they ask him, how many of you all have heard the left hands of the devil?
I haven't heard it before.
Look it up.
I have.
Everybody's heard that. If you haven't, look it up. The left hands of the devil.
Yeah, I heard somebody was born left-handed and they're forced to be right-handed.
Right. Now, that's not saying everybody with a left hand, everybody that's left-handed is the devil, but I'm saying they have a propensity to be that way. But you have to understand, too, it's also scientific because the earth at one time was perfectly balanced, and then the sons of Canaan rained down on the children of Mu and threw the planet off its axis by 23 and a third axis. We used to be all ambidextrous. You would even-handed. You could write left and right-handed at the same time towards your signature toward the other one. You could do that. You could write in and out, and you could do it with both hands. But now, since the global shift 23 and 30 degrees off its axis, you all are predominantly over 80% right-handed. But there are some that fell to the other polarity and they're left-handed. Yeah.
Yep, my mother.
I believe it. And some of you even know, some of you got family members with 6 fingers and 6 toes. Or you know somebody that's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be quiet now. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, you see. Yeah, don't get quiet on me. You know, I mean, just like, you know, Adam and Eve was born with 5 fingers and 5 toes. And they made out everybody came from one peckerwood, Adam. Well, where did these people with 6 toes and fingers come? Like in the Bible, Goliath and them. He was a giant with 6 fingers and 6 toes. Where did they come from? That's the devil.
The fallen angels.
That's right. All the fallen angels don't have 6 fingers and 6 toes, though. But I know one, George Herbert Foster. He was one of my students. He lived with me and all that. He moved to Africa now because he was molesting little children so bad. But He was born with 6 fingers and 6 toes. George Herbert Foster. And if you look at his name, George Herbert Foster, how many letters in each name?
6.
6.
666.
Wow, I was just thinking that.
George Herbert Foster,
Ronald,
666.
Ronald Wilson Reagan.
That's right, 666.
Yeah.
And recently, George called me from Africa, and guess what blood type he told me he got? RH negative.
RH.
RH negative. Yeah, reptile. And he is a demon.
Yeah, I could tell from the one time I spoke to him.
I understand. Who am I speaking to? That's Katat? Yeah, you can tell. That's right, Katat. He is a devil, and there's no. I mean, I've been around a lot. Like I say, my brother was, but I love them like everybody else. But I mean, they are what they are. You understand? I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to judge. Well, I am, But
truth is truth,
it is true. But I'm gonna judge people by what they do, not what they are. You understand?
Understand? Right.
I don't care if you're genetically a devil or a reptile, but I do care if you start exhibiting those traits.
Understand?
Especially in regards to this mission. Don't fuck with me with that shit. You understand? Yeah, right. You'd be like on board working and pull the wrong hat, be fucking pull up something worse and bigger than you. You know what I mean? Be wrong hat. That's right. I'm the wrong hat. You know what I'm saying? I am the wrong hat. That's right. But I love you all and know that.
Man.
I love you all.
We love you too.
But the devil is not safe around me. I'm not kidding. They die and go to hell real fast. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to share the story when you was talking about the white man. I have an incident. I don't know if Mama remember. I was younger. I was an Adventist, and we was going to a convention in Savannah. And my daddy stayed on the top street. My mom stayed on the bottom. And I went to go tell my mom goodbye. I'll see you later on, because we was going out of town to Savannah. So I had got my clothes and got dressed.
I'm going to tell you something, son. Let me tell you something. I just saw you. You tall. You're not a short man.
Right.
Yeah.
You got me? Tall.
How tall are you?
Yeah. I'm 6'1".
Okay, well, you ain't that. I thought you look taller than you are to me just then. Go ahead. I'm sorry. But sometimes I see y'all, it just flash in and I can see you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get to talking and your vocal vibrations open up a picture for me. You understand what I'm saying?
I got you.
Well, Atifat, she know, Sky, she was in a class, and then after class, we all hung up the phone, but the same thing happened. The window opened up like it did between me and Cheryl in London. And I heard her arguing with her daughter, and it sounded to me like she was trying to put fear in her. She was telling her, threatening her and all this here. So I called her back up and I said, Amanda, stop scaring that child like that. And she said, Amun? Amun? How'd you know? You heard, She said, no, we play like that all the time. I said, I could feel the child's fear. She may have been playing, but that child didn't take it that way. You understand me? And Amanda, you on the phone with us right now, right?
Yes.
You remember when I did that, right?
Yeah, because wait a minute, how you know I was? Yeah, I just really started going to class. Yeah, I remember that night.
That's right.
I get it. Yeah.
And I called her back and asked her why she was talking to her daughter like that. And she said, "Well, I wasn't trying to. We do that all the time. But I was trying to tell her, no, that's not the way the girl was taking it. You know what I mean? And y'all should be careful when I tell you things too, because You know, a child sometimes could be like a cat you corner. Like my mama say, if you corner a cat, it's gonna come out that corner. It's gonna try to go around you or over you, but if it happens, it's gonna go through you. You understand what I mean?
Oh,
you don't put fear in people, not even your own children. Don't do it. Because the fear I felt in her, she was starting to believe you. You understand what I mean, Amanda?
Yeah, I was joking. I mean, it wasn't like that. It really wasn't.
I know you say, I know that. I believe you, sister. I'm just trying to tell you, I felt her. And from the way she was receiving it, look, it must have been strong what I was feeling, or I wouldn't have called you back and said that. You hear me?
Right. A lot of
times during the day, a lot of times I connect with y'all during the day, and there's things I want to call you up and say to you, you know, but I don't do it. But if it's that strong, I will. But it ain't no different than you being in South Africa, and I tell you to go outside and look at a star, and I connect with your mind and see the star you looking at and move it through your mind. Do you understand that? I don't know why people think that I can see stars through their eyes, but I'm not looking at nothing else in their mind while I'm there. Ain't that something? You think I can see the stars through your eyes, but I can't see what you thinking?
Message.
Crazy. Yes, I am the Messiah, right?
Most definitely.
And I can pick up moods and tones real quick when somebody trying to be nasty undercover, like my mom say, nasty, nice, or sharp, or a little ugly. I pick that up just like radar, like beep. You know what I'm saying? Or when somebody's being real nice and being, you know, like Pata's mother, Bess, you know, I love her vibration. I love a lot of vibration, but I can tell the ones that have flickering genes and the ones that, you know, I know y'all by your natures. Believe me, I know you. Even when you're in denial about who and what you are. I know you all by your, I know every man by his marks. And woman, I know you by your marks. But I try to be like Lottie Dottie. I want to get along with every damn body. You understand? That's right. Yes.
Well, since you can read me and everything, what kind of person am I?
You are self, and you're a wonderful, beautiful person, a good soul.
Thank you.
And I'll tell you what's strange about that. Some of you all were wildcats when you were young and walked on the wild side. But do not despise, don't despise aging, because it's a blessing that not many of you receive, because a lot of you die in your youth at the height of your mischief-making career, and that's the time to die in danger.
Wow.
But you see, the Most High let some of y'all grow old because you rag back, you burn out your desires and your sins. You understand?
So,
And then you calm down, and you start curving that evil and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, say
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of y'all know what I'm talking about, but you ain't gonna say nothing. But you know you're starting to cool your jets right now. But if you look at the way you was before, you used to be a firebrand, didn't you?
I
ain't lying. I was a 38 hot pistol myself. You know what I'm saying? For a little short period of time. I used to climb Mount Motherfucker too. Yes. I'm not even gonna lie to you there. Yeah. I like my brother Reggie to say, seriously, Larry, he on the wild right now. Yeah. Yeah, the devil pushed the wrong button. I was on the wild. Yeah. Cut their head off in a minute, but chicken shit less than a dime at the drop of a hat.
You know what I mean?
The other nigga with all 4 feet. Showing up like Sergeant Preston of the Yukon. I always get my man. Nigga, don't you run for me.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And brought that down back.
But you know one thing about a job like mine, they couldn't send just pure Gabriel down. Because you niggas would have had him on a rope, dragging him on the back of a truck and throwing darts at him and laughing. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Coming down here talking about tiptoe through the tulips and love and all that. You niggas would have had him up with salt and pepper. With salt and damn pepper.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Come on now.
You got to have that other nature with you too now.
That's right.
I walk light, but I carry some kind of stick there too.
I heard that.
That's right.
Wow.
And y'all know it. You know what I'm saying? But I love you. And I love you.
Amun, you know what? Amun.
Yes.
We really appreciate you being real. You know what I'm saying? That makes a really big difference. You know, you down.
Well, it got to be for real.
It's like,
you know, if somebody try to act like there's something different from you, you know, yeah, and they know they're not. You know what I mean? And like Malachi is like that too. Malachi is soft spoken like that, but he'll dig in your ass if you know what I'm saying? With a shovel. I ain't talking about a teaspoon. He'll dig in your ass with a shovel. Yes, he will. He'll snap like a motherfucker on you. You know what I'm saying? He'd be like, you the holy man? Yeah, I'm the one gonna put holes in you, motherfucker. Yeah.
he just used to be different.
Yeah, I remember some of the stories.
Yeah, when I first met him, he was real soft. He was real holy and all that as Imam Issa. You know, in the late 70s and early 80s, he was like that. You know, but he still had an amber light.
Roll that.
Yes, Rahubat.
Hey, Messiah. Rahubat.
Hey, Kim is another one like that. He can flicker.
Roll that.
Kim is nice with you and all that, but he'll take a lamp and bust your goddamn brains out too. If you cross that line. If you cross that line. You know, and I know all of you. Yeah, I know all of you, and I love you all. Because I have all them different natures in me.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, that's right.
Ahmed, I remember when you told us that you hit somebody in the head with a can of peas. I remember you telling me and Mike about that.
A cat named Jimmy. I sent him and my brother Red out to sell some weed, and they went to Mexico and bought syrup. Come all back with their teeth and mouth red, and they didn't have my money. I took a can of peas and tore them up on that nigga's head. And Jimmy got so hot about that, when he left, he went down the street in San Diego and stabbed the nigga in his chest to death. That's right.
Dang. Wow.
Yeah, he killed the nigga that same day.
Wow.
I'm sorry. But don't steal from me now. Don't play like that. I'm not going to never steal from you, but that dog don't hunt, baby. I'm telling you now. I'm not the one, but I love you. You understand? I really do love you, and I do love you.
We love you too, Amun.
I'm telling you, you ain't going to never find a better friend than me. I'm the best friend you could have in the world.
And that's
don't make no enemy out of me, though. I'm telling you, that's not wise. Why would you make an enemy out of somebody that can move? Why would you make an enemy out of somebody that can move the universe? Now, how smart is that?
That's not really.
No, man. That's what they call cruising for a bruising, right? All right. Now, let's get some of these questions in here right now. We got enough of truth and consequences. I understand.
Hey, roll back, Pop.
Go ahead.
Roll back, Amun.
Hey, Rahubat, how they going down there? You back in Texas now, huh?
Oh, yes, sir. I'm here. Yeah, I'm planning here in H-Town. I'm
You in Houston?
because he asked first. The brother asked first.
All right. Okay. I'm glad to hear your tone. That's all. I'm happy to hear your tone. Who got that first?
Brother. I was going to say my question. My question was tied to what you were speaking, because remember you spoke about a few classes when I got down here about you had sent out something to leave you alone, and the people were internally combusting, right? Now I didn't speak on it then for the reason I waited, because I know someone that
spontaneous internal combustion. You see?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Remember you were that was one of the plays you sent out when they had messed with you one time. I was just saying, I verified it happened. But I was
I love you. But now you know, if you don't know me by now, you'll never know me, right? Yeah.
I was just saying.
But I'm telling you.
Was speaking on. But now the question part was that the question was this: how about all the things that are going on right now as far as the just the normal addiction things, right?
Wait a minute, now slow down. The normal addiction thing. You got to slow down and take your time. Ain't nobody gonna overtalk you. Go ahead, take your time.
Okay, so basically what I'm saying is that when you see, I'm around a certain pattern of people that I'm seeing a lot of addiction, trying to help people with addictions and getting casting spirits off and doing this. But I see when I'm doing it, I'm taking some off, and I'm trying to block from taking it on, so I just quit doing it, like healing and all that, and all that kind of stuff. Is it the time to stop that and go inward?
So your question is
it a time to stop that and go inward with the healing, to stop letting that draw?
Are you healing people? It's never a time to stop healing people. It's never a time to stop healing them.
I'm taking it in, like I'm taking their pain.
Yeah, I understand. I know you did that right. If you really a healer, you got to understand. If you take pneumonia or AIDS or COVID off somebody, you got to be strong enough to handle that sickness, because it's going to come into you. It don't just disappear. It's balance. Let me explain. There's balance in the world. So anytime you heal somebody, you better make sure you're stronger than them. Believe me.
That's what I need.
There was a tall Nawabian brother from Jamaica that came out here with green eyes that used to be real close to Malachi. I forgot his name, but he one of the 24 elders. And his kidneys was failing him so bad, he was dying, and he didn't want to go to the hospital. Malachi told him about me, so he had him bring him to me. And I met them on the front porch, and I grabbed him to help him into the house. And my kidneys, I got such sharp pains in the small of my back, I almost keeled over. But I did heal him. Yeah, I healed him, but you got to make sure that you strong when you heal people, because you got that illness don't just disappear. It's got to go somewhere.
Perfect sense. That's what I need to know. Tawu Pop.
I love you. Next question.
How can you learn that?
How can you learn healing? What healing is, let me explain to you. Let me explain about healing. Healing comes from temperature. It's when somebody have a temperature that's too low, or if they have one that's too high, and there's a fever or something. You get illness like that from a temperature in your body being raised too high or too low, right? But when you actually talk about healing people, you can't heal anybody. They can heal themselves. That's what Jesus always say. By your own faith may you be made whole. Understand? But what you have to do, if you're a healer or call yourself a practitioner, you have to learn how to communicate with people on a certain vibratory level. When you see them whole and healed, you got to get them to match your frequency. You understand? You got to tell them to stop telling themselves they're sick and this is wrong and that's wrong, until they can see themselves well like you. Tell them to have mantras like, every time I hear or see water, I become better and better every day and in every way. Because see, it's just like you are immortal beings, and if you have a father that played football and he hurt his right knee, some of his sons and daughters be born with a weakness in that spot there. It may not be the scar, but that genetic problem moves on. But you know, just like if you burn yourself as a child, you burn yourself as a child, and you still got that scar there. And I'm telling you, change realities a billion times per second. A completely new world, a completely new person, billions of times a second. You keep bringing that malady forward in your mind because you don't. The things you look at will never change until you change the way that you look at things. So if you believe you got a scar on your arm, then and as long as you believe it, it's going to keep coming back. Billions of times a second, you recreating it. But you changing bodies billions of times a second. And you bringing that illness or the thought of it forward with you. You understand?
Wow. Yeah, understand.
You got to change your mind. Stop thinking like that.
Sure.
That's right. I'm not saying it's easy to do, but you're going to have to do it.
True.
I got a question.
I'll do my best.
So that affirmation you just said, like every time I hear or see water become better and better every day than every way, what does what does that do to the body?
It is retroactive, right? In other words, every time you hear or see water, it could be on TV, or you use the bathroom, or you wash the dishes, you take a bath, or it rain, or whatever. Every time you hear or see water, you become better and better every day and in every way. You keep saying that, so every time you see or hear water pretty soon, retroactively, without even putting a lot of thought in it, you start feeling better every time you hear or see water. You understand? Until after a while, you don't even have to say it no more. All you got to do is hear or see water, and you don't know why, but you just start feeling better. You understand?
Follow.
Right.
Just like if you're looking at a commercial and they got subliminal on the TV saying, do you have dizzy spells? Are you overheated? You have so-and-so. Now that's in the background. You don't think you're hearing that, but on some level you picking that up subliminally. And pretty soon you're gonna come out and say, yeah, me too, I sure do have that. And you go to the doctor, get medicine for it, but they didn't put that in your mind.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. You can be post-hypnotic suggestion can be positive or negative.
Everything is mental.
That's what it's a thought. Like I told them, it's a thought world.
You can make yourself sick by thinking it.
That's what I'm telling y'all. The most important lesson I have for you tonight is this. Everybody that's trying to get to heaven on a spacecraft or someplace up in the clouds, stop that. The kingdom of heaven is where? Within you. You have to change your mind and start imagining the kind of conditions and people and the kind of world you want to live in. But you keep on talking about it's going to be meteors coming and the disease and the plague, all kind of problem and Trump coming with FEMA and all these kind of, I keep y'all aware of things, but I'm not trying to just pump that in your head till you create fear or something of it.
Right.
I know, but I'm trying to tell y'all about heaven and heavenly conditions, and you keep on imagining that, and you go keep your vibrations gonna start leaning that way, and you're gonna start traveling in that direction. You understand? And the next thing you know, you're gonna look up and you're gonna be surrounded by heaven. You understand? Because you all are creating your own reality with your thoughts. So negative thoughts will create what?
Negative thoughts, negative reality.
You're gonna wake up in hell all the time. Keep saying things like I'm going to hell anyway, or I'm in hell all the time. I'm always sick. I can't get no man. I can't get no money. I don't have no luck. I can't win nothing. You hear people talk like that all the time?
Yeah, they never have anything.
I'll never have nothing. I'll never feel good. There's nothing good never happened to me and all that type of stuff. You creating a reality. Mind your mind for the jewels of your soul. Stop talking all that negative talk.
I agree.
I said it's true. The few weeks ago, I won 250 pounds on the lottery, and I was feeling in a positive way that day. And so in my mind, I kind of saw some numbers, and within my head, and I did it. And I was really surprised how I got 4 numbers and 1 bonus. I was really quite shocked, but then I thought to myself, well, if it was that day, I knew I would have won something, because I felt more or less in a more positive state than I ever did. So that's an example about.
That's what it is. And when people talk about winning the lottery and all that, you're not winning no lottery. You think you guessing somebody's phone number? You're not winning no lottery. What it is you get that's right. You get a number in your head, and you start knowing, not just believing that that's the number, and you gravitate toward a reality where that number is the winner.
Yeah.
Millions of times per second, I tell you.
Yeah. Bashar talk about that too, Amun.
Yeah. Well, Bashar is, like when Hard did the prayer, he said, Yanun, the Bab Yanun wrote the prayer of Amun. He said that Yanun said he was one of my master teachers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Master teachers with an S, plural.
Yeah.
Well, Bashar and many other beings are some of them too.
Right. Understand?
Right. Because the information that comes through me don't come through no one person or one being. It comes from all.
That's right. We're all.
That's right. That's right. And I'm just trying to get y'all to raise up in vibration to reconnect with the author of the story and stop trying to be the character. Because if you identify with a character in the story you wrote, the character don't have no power over what happens on the next page or the next day. Only the author does, because he has the Kwalamu, the pen in his hand.
He created it.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Now you gonna be the creator? Come on up here, or the creation.
The creator.
That's right. Then you got control. God means control.
That's right.
And if you're not God, you be in control. You be in control by genetics and environment and many different things. Other people. Right? Now, we didn't get a chance to do a lot this class, so I'll tell you, Jasmine and Patah, we're going to name this class Fireside Chat number 22. Amun. Fireside Chat. No, Amun 21. Fireside Chat 21, Amun. But let's go outside now and perform some miracles. Wherever you are. Come out, wherever you are. Come out them bushes, Aloysius. Let's go out there and perform some miracles. I love y'all. I'm sorry, I had a lot of information I wanted to share with you all. And I don't know if that was Zyber. He was supposed to tell you all about these comets and things from interstellar space.
Hold on, yeah.
Well, why didn't you do it?
Because I was on my way to work.
Oh, I understand. Okay. Everybody, well, go ahead real quick, Zyber, while they go outside. Look at these stars.
Well, for short term, the comet 3i Atlas. Here, let me get to the quiet place. I said, well, for the simple matter, the comets that are in they just recently been discovered. The 3i Atlas recently was discovered towards the end of July, and the most recent comet that's been found is the interstellar comet C-2025 Squad. And these comets, they radiate more energy than the Earth's most powerful power plant. And then as soon as 3i Atlas came into our solar system, which is today, within a few hours ago, like early in the morning, 9 green orbs were found around it. And so Earth's highest nuclear reactor,
alleged comet.
So they give off up to only a few gigawatts. But the comet 3i Atlas gave us 10 gigawatts in the plasma core, like consecutively. But the 9 orbs around it that were just appeared and they said it appeared within a blink of an eye. They said a blink of an eye is 300 milliseconds. They said when you take a picture with a phone, it's 5 milliseconds. They said it was 100 times faster than the flash of a phone when they appeared.
And it came from out of the direction of Aquarius, right?
Aquarius stars, and that's right. Randomly, they don't know where.
Yeah. Well, that other one that came before that, it came from the direction of the Pleiades. So what I'm telling y'all is I told you it's going to be full contact. For many of you all, you're going to experience with me the full contact of the extraterrestrials by year 2000 and late 2026 moving forward, right?
Right.
Many of you going to experience that, but some of you that think negative going to experience all that FEMA and earthquakes and plagues and all these things. You understand?
Right.
You want to think like
fake alien invasions, all that.
Yeah, you keep thinking like the devil, you're going to wake up in hell.
Mm-hmm.
Keep giving power to the beast, man. That white man got everything. He does. They can do anything. They can. They can. Okay. Well, then they're your damn God. And hell is your home. Because I don't know if you know, but Louis Farrakhan had a song a long time ago, a white man's heaven is a black man's hell. It's easy to tell.
Song?
That's right. It ain't no joke.
Mm.
That's right.
And Messiah, there's 9 forms.
I'm not laughing.
They're not even here yet, but there's 9.
Okay, who sees that first star out there, or moon?
I see something in London. Cheryl.
Okay. Well, we're going to make it move to the left.
Can I real quick just to say?
Move to the left in the name of Amun-Rayay. Y'all look for what Cheryl and I are doing. Now move left. I love you. Thank you for saying that. Move up in the name of Amun-Rayay.
One up.
Moving up.
Moving up.
All right. Now drop down in the name of the Messiah.
Dropping down.
Dropping down.
Dropping down.
All right. We need one more person. Anybody here from Africa or okay, go ahead. What do you see?
In the name of Amun,
What do you see?
A star.
Okay.
I see a star.
All right.
In the name of
tell everybody.
Amun,
I need to let everybody know what to look for. Go ahead.
I'm looking at a star.
All right. In the name of Amun,
In the
which way you
name
want to?
Raise up.
Okay.
It's going up. In the name of Amun, drop down. You wobbling a little bit.
Dropping down.
It wobbles to the left. It wobbles to the left. I know. Where did you outside the house? Where did y'all leave me?
In the bedroom.
Inside.
In the
And with the light turned out, right?
With the lights out. Well, yeah, with the lights out.
And my eyes closed. That's right. So I want y'all to understand, all of y'all are in my mind. The whole creation is in my mind. Malachi is right and count them not. That big bang, that big bang came out of the right eye of the people of Amun-Rayay. Go ahead.
I'm going to write my testimony.
In the name of Amun, move to the right.
We do need them testimonies to the right. Okay.
To the right.
Moving right.
Robin, moving right.
It is wobbling
In the name
down.
of Amun, move back to the left. Yeah. Yes, it is. In the name of Amun, move back to the left.
Moving left.
Moving left. In the name of Amun, go counterclockwise.
Moving counterclockwise.
Counterclockwise.
All right. Now I love you all. You know what to name the class. It's important I love y'all more. But it's important that y'all get this class information to me immediately, because I have to base everything that I do on that moving forward. I need those statistics. I love you all.
Mm.
I mean that. Write your testimonies.
Love you too.
And people that's donate to the mission, I'm going to have you watching your mail in a minute. I love you.
Mm.
I love you.
Love you. Wadu.
Wadu. Have a great week, family. This is Anubis. Much love and light. Wadu.